The mightiest tournament in all the multiverse has now officially begun, spawning an exhibition match between Universe 9 and Universe 7, prompting the beginning of a long battle. And here today, we're going to be sharing our thoughts and predictions as to what we believe may or may not happen in the upcoming episode of Dragon Ball Super, episode 79. And joining me here today to tackle this subject is my friend Emosh, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about today. Kicking it off, guys, this video is going to be filled with spoilers, so make sure you guys go ahead and watch the episode before watching this. We have our very first exhibition match between Basil and Majin Buu. Now, Emosh, I wanted to get your thoughts on your boy, the god that you like the most, that being the dwarf god Sidra. Now, Sidra, for the first time, he was the first god actually shown during this entire episode, and he's a very undecisive god from what we saw. I actually like his Supreme Kai more because the Supreme Kai that's with him seems like such an asshole. But I wanted to get your thoughts on A, Universe 9 versus Universe 7, and do you believe that the Omni King is going to make an example of Universe 9, and overall your thoughts on Basil versus Majin Buu, and the fact that Majin Buu so far has had no offense. He's not taking the fight serious, but needless to say, do you see him turning the fight around? I want to get your thoughts on this, especially going into episode 79.
Okay, first though, I was, no disrespect, but I was like, oh, let's just talk, let's just get into this, let's just get into it.
I can tell you're hyped, man, because I'm not gonna lie to you, like, the whole presentation was amazing.
Yo, everything, from start to finish, I have no complaints about it. I have no complaints, even though Goku again was a moron.
I only have two. I have the fact that it took chocolate to wake Buu up when they should have done that during the tournament.
I guess, you know what, I mean, he's a complete vegetable head in this.
I was just like, what? And another thing that I'm really gonna get off my chest right now. I really wanna punch the mouse god in the teeth. He is so ugly. He is so ugly. He's such a
compared to that
hide the cheese, bro.
Compared to that I don't even know what it is. He has an orange mohawk. He looks like he's dying. He's like a mummy.
Oh,
he looks
like the centipede looking dude with all like he has like a bunch of dicks on his chin. Yeah, I saw that.
Can someone shoot him already? Cause oh my god, what is up with him?
But overall, you're God of Destruction, the god that you like the most.
Sidra. Oh my god.
Now, before we begin, guys, comment down below as to which god do you guys like the most. I favor the clown, but let's get into your boy real fast. So it's his wolves, it's the fox, it's the coyote. What are your thoughts on all of this?
The wolf pack is back. NWO,
right?
For those guys who are wrestling fans, Kevin Nash, exactly, Razor Scott Hall. But anyway, guys, yes, the hype is real. I am excited. I honestly, okay, the complaints that Alex mentioned, that Unreal mentioned, they're kind of minor. Some people might approve. I mean, again, those are just personal preferences. Even I agree with them, but I don't think they're it's not something we can say, well, that alone is going to make episode 78 look like shit. From the animation, everything was spot on. Everything was spot on. Everything was beautiful. Presentation from start to finish. The way the Dai Shinkan just casually, just told, well, Goku,
the rules and everything.
This is gonna happen. Oh, and they put Goku on the spotlight. Yes.
Oh no, we're gonna get into that. And by the way, guys, we have a very special video coming out Monday that's going to be addressing the whole Goku situation, because I don't know about you, man, but if this episode doesn't solidify Goku's arrogance, I don't know what does, because he was put in his place when Dai Shinkan said it's best if you just keep silent and shut him up real fast. But either way, man, Basil, Majin Buu, what's going on here? What do you think is going to happen next week?
Alright, first of all, very happy to see Sidra. I love his design. I love the whole concept of dwarfs. Again, I come from, I was very heavily into Blizzard games. I come from, like, again, back in the day, if any of you are familiar with Warcraft 2 Battle.net Edition, Warcraft 3 The Frozen Throne, or even, I hate World of Warcraft, but even, again, dwarves in general, I like their nature. They're very, I don't want to say aggressive, but they're very adamant, right? They're very, like, but the way they presented him, again, I still like him because we haven't really seen anything from him.
Right.
But I'm very glad to see him the way he talks. Again, like you mentioned, the Kaioshin, he looks like a douche. He sounds like a douche, and he's kind of like, it sounds like he's greedy. The way he was like, oh, so Dai Shinkan-sama, what do we get if we win this match? And he was like folding his hands together like,
he was very snobby. Snobby.
So, but I have yet to see him make fun of anybody, though, according to the spoilers.
I guess that reflects off his fighters, because Basil was almost like the same thing. He was just like, ugh, like Universe 7 ain't got nothing to offer,
But here's what Basil fucked up, though. He called Majin Buu, and I know it was because I watched the subtitle version. I don't watch the non-subtitle. I know you watch the non-sub version.
I just got done watching the episode on Crunchyroll. Actually.
Yeah, and I think it's censored, but he called him a buffoon. I think they meant to say he's an idiot or something like that. Yeah, so I think they meant to say like he's an idiot or something like that. But Majin Buu doesn't like when people make fun of him. He hates that.
Of course not.
And I think, but again, according to the previews, we see Majin Buu just rolling around the floor. Again, he's not at a disadvantage whatsoever. The spoilers were dead wrong. He's not going to be at any kind of disadvantage against Basil, at least, or Basil, whatever you guys want to call him. But because we see him rolling on the floor, laughing and everything. But once Gohan or Goku, I'm not sure whose voice, I couldn't recognize it right off the spot because I was so hyped. They end up telling Majin Buu and saying, "Listen, enough is enough. Don't play games. Do it. You know, the fate of the universe is on the line here. So you have to." Give it, fight with your full potential. Then right away, and then that little laugh that Majin Buu had at the end.
He turned it around.
Ooh, man. Oh my God.
See, that's the Majin Buu that we've wanted to see because
yes.
Like, people forget, like, all right, yeah, he's fat, he's stupid, yes, we get it, but that's after, the era with Babidi, because when he was with Babidi, he was like this psychotic, devious creature, and then after all that happened, when he was with Hercule, he was very kind and, all that kind of stuff, but now, after you said that, we saw the smile fade away, but even before all of that, Boo's still messing around with him, he had his hand around his neck, he was just playing with him, and Basil's like, yo, like, I can kick you around all day, but once the episode preview cut off and we saw Basil charge at him, Buu had like a different expression. So how do you think this is gonna fare off? Is Buu gonna one-shot him, or is he actually gonna put on like somewhat of a fight?
Definitely not. I do see Basil putting up with some kind of a fight.
Okay, so it's not a one-shot thing.
No, I don't think so. Again, I interpreted it differently. It showed Basil, but then it showed a point of view charging towards Majin Buu. Now, we could naturally assume that, yes, that's Basil charging at Majin Buu, and he looked more red, like his eyes were red. He looked like he was furious.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like he went feral, like he was in a feral kind of, mode or something like that. Wolves go feral. So, yes, he does power up, I imagine, and he's going to just beat the shit out of Majin Buu, but I still think Majin Buu is going to... I think they did it on purpose. They're not going to show Majin Buu go, like, okay, well... If I don't get chocolate, I'm gonna eat you instead, or something like that. You know what I mean? So,
he eats the fox.
Oh my God,
the poor fox, bro. Because remember, keep in mind, guys, the Dai Shinkan said, fight at your full abilities, fight at your full power. But the thing is, they want to avoid casualties in a way. So because he made it clear that unless your opponent gives up or is knocked out, you're the winner. So does that mean that poison is allowed? Because remember, Bergamo is a master of like poison and stuff. So this is gonna be very interesting because remember our boy Frost. He's the man at using that heroin needle. So it's pretty interesting to see that the Dai Shinkan, before anything else, he said use your full powers to your advantage. So do you think that Buu is gonna use any of that, or is he just gonna toy around with that first?
Here's the thing. He said to fight with your full potential, your full might. And then he says that basically the rules are simple. Basically, until someone is knocked out, meaning knocked unconscious or something like that, I guess, or unable to continue. So that can be again interpreted in many different ways. Whether the person is unable to continue because Bergamo poisons him, so he just flat out just drops onto the floor and he just can't continue. If you end up dying, I don't think any of this really pertains to Zeno even caring because
he does not, dude.
Yeah, they put a strong emphasis on, listen, it's whatever Zeno wants. If Zeno wants you to fight, and even if you're dying, if he still wants you to fight, listen, you got to do it.
You still fight.
It's getting a little more scarier if you've noticed that. It's getting much more scarier the way they're portraying Zeno.
No, I think once Zeno, because Goku thought he was hot shit, and once Zeno said, Goku, put on a fight. Like, he didn't even say, like, yo, man, good luck. He just said, yo, put on a fucking fight. So Goku being Goku, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So, I don't know, like, I just feel like, I feel like Goku finally realizes what's at stake, but he's still not taking it as serious.
Yeah, exactly, because he just said it. Oh, so all I have to do is win now. What a fucking idiot that guy.
All right, so I think me and you can both agree that Majin Buu wins?
Yes.
Okay, Majin Buu wins.
Yes.
We also have our good old friend, Gohan. He's there.
He's gonna lose.
Wait, you're calling it right now?
Don't stutter. Yes, I'm gonna call it. Listen, really? before anyone beats me up for this, I love Gohan. I have done a lot of videos trying to defend him, but the reason I have to be hard on him now is so that I can appreciate him later. And I hope you guys understand.
All right, so let's go ahead and backtrack. So Majin Buu wins. I'm assuming you're thinking that Goku's going to win, correct? Because it's very obvious enough based on the intro. Goku wins, Buu wins, Gohan loses.
If Goku loses, he would just look like a fucking idiot. But I think Gohan is motivated. He said, listen, I'm going to fight. I have something I don't want to lose. But at the same time,
Videl and Pan,
right? Again, but I think he's gonna. It's safe to say he's gonna fight Lavenda, right?
Lavenda. Yeah, Lavenda. Yeah, that's his guy.
We don't have any spoilers on Lavenda, and I think that he looks really. He looks like he's weak. Yeah, exactly, and you're right. he looks weak, but he looks like he has something that's really dirty. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, and
something
going
about
back to
him.
what you just said, I think that you might be correct. They might be starting off from the weakest, getting to the strongest. You know, so
Right.
I don't think Basil's the strongest one. Obviously, the strongest one is Bergamo. So I think that they're going in order from weakest to strongest. That being Basil, Lavenda, and then Bergamo. Same thing with Majin Buu, Gohan, and then Goku. But the thing is, I don't know, like, I have like this weird feeling that since Buu is Buu, he might end up either getting ringed out. I mean, that's if ringing out counts. But I think that Gohan and Goku might win, but Buu might lose. Because it doesn't look like Boo's just so playful.
How about this? Let's say then perhaps then Buu loses, he gets knocked out. Gohan comes in, beats Basil, loses to Lavenda, and then maybe Goku cleans up the mess. That could be another possibility.
They haven't really specified if it's just like
of course. Just again, predictions,
team.
They
haven't really specified. I mean, I would hope it's elimination because I think me and you can both agree that even if it's all three of them, Goku can still, if needed be, he can take them out. So I don't know. So you're saying Buu wins. I'm thinking that Boo's probably not going to take this as serious as me and you think. People are going to say, yo, man, Buu can do this and Buu can do that. Yeah, he's not weak, guys. He's not a weak guy.
No, he's not.
But what slows him down is his attitude, is the way he carries himself. He's like, yeah, Buu hungry. Buu beat you up.
Right.
But then if Buu gets his butt kicked, like same thing that happened with Beerus when Beerus whooped his ass, you know, there's not much he can do. So I think that either Basil may realize, like, yo, this guy is pretty fucking strong, so he might outsmart him in a way, because Basil doesn't seem like he's a stupid guy, but Buu does. But you're saying Gohan loses against Lavenda, and of course we're gonna get to see Lavenda and Gohan fight next week. So what are your overall thoughts on that? Like, what do you think that, like, how far do you think Gohan's gonna go during this fight? Because again, as you said, we haven't really gotten any spoilers for Lavenda and what he can do. So how do you see Gohan versus Lavenda going down?
Here's why I feel like Gohan will disappoint us now, but then redeem himself later.
Okay.
One, it adds to the story and it adds to character development. If you give Gohan the win now, again, whether he wins or loses, I agree with it. I don't care. I'm just saying from my point of view. And again, guys, let me remind you, Gohan is one of my top characters, favorite characters of all time. Not the current Gohan. I like Gohan back when Buu was revived.
The older
I like
Gohan.
Exactly. In the BoJack movie, in the Cell Saga, even when the Saiyans came to Earth. But enough about that. The reason I say that is because, one, it adds to character development, which I'm a very big fan of, and I know you know that.
Yes.
And two, I feel like from a visual perspective, again, when me and you always talk off camera, we always talk about, we always theorize together, and we always look at things, not even just dialogue, but from a visual perspective. Why Gohan is in his fighting gi, but why is he wearing his glasses, bro? Like, okay, because when we have him displayed in the actual team lineup, he's not wearing his glasses. He has a serious face, but he's in his fighting gi. I don't think he has bad eyesight. I don't think he's like, he just loves you know what I'm saying? So it's just from a visual perspective, again, people could disagree and say, well, yeah, I think you're just being a little nitpicky. No, again, when you're creating something, when you're telling a story, and when you're and the opening intro, the Limit Break Survivor, that whole intro is a clear indication as to what we can expect from Dragon Ball Super in this arc, the Tournament of Power.
Yes.
But so that's why I feel like this whole arc as a whole, from every episode from here on out, from 77 plus, you gotta pay attention to not only what's being said, but to what's being shown on the screen. Now, Gohan wearing his glasses, again, people are gonna be like, I'm sure an asshole, because he's not gonna wear his glasses during the fight. I'm not saying that. He's just wearing them now. In general, I think to me that shows a sign of weakness. That shows a sign of him just, not totally being there 100%. So that's why I feel like he could lose.
Yeah, I don't think he's comfortable yet. I mean, guys, don't get me wrong. I think that Gohan is really going to do damage later, because once the actual tournament starts and the Omni... Because here's the thing. I think once the Omni King destroys a universe, any universe, that's when I believe everyone's gonna say, "Oh shit!" All right, because he's not joking. He's not joking.
Because as you can see in the episode, he's not quite sure as to what's going on. Still, even when everybody was bowing, he was like, "Oh wait,
he was like,
I have to bow too."
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And then you know what I'm saying. So he's new to this whole thing, which kind of, and I don't know if you felt the same way when I saw how new he was to all of this. It made me really like, I've already realized it before, but then it really hit me like in the nuts, and I was like, "Yo." He really just doesn't belong here anymore. Like, wow, like he's just so out of it. Like, this isn't
he's
just
out of it, but I think that he's definitely going to bring it, because what surprised me was how Videl said, Videl came out of nowhere and she said, do it, go. And
then, I love her for that. I love her for that.
Like, that's, everyone in the comments has to give Videl credit for that, because if that was Chi-Chi, she would have been like, well, your schoolwork and, your businesses and shit. Videl was like, fuck it, if my life is in the line, go, fight for me. So that's what
she doesn't know about it, though.
I believe that Goku is also going to kind of push him a little bit to say, listen, even if he loses, I can see Goku saying, look, we can't afford to lose this again. We can't afford you just to goof around. Remember the pain of loss. Remember how you used to fight before. I don't think that Gohan's ultimate power is gone. I just think that it's dormant. So now, so more than ever, after the fight with Lavenda happens, I can see him beating Lavenda because of that sole idea that, I can see him losing in the beginning, but once he thinks about Videl, once he thinks about Pan, I'm sorry, but if you're a family man, that's going to trigger you, having to realize, like, yo, that guy sitting over there is going to destroy my family. Oh, hell no, I'm going to step it up. So I can definitely see Gohan kind of raising the bar a little bit against these characters, which is going to give Goku the opportunity to beat Bergamo. But overall, like, the whole atmosphere, and the way Goku spoke, hey, Champa, remember me?
Oh my God.
What are your thoughts on that? I mean, even though we have a video coming out Monday about this, what are your thoughts on just the way he just walked about? He was like, oh, hey, Champa, hey, Zenchan, like, what's up, bro? Like, bro fist me. It's like, what are your thoughts on that?
He just, he doesn't get it. Like, he just doesn't. I can't even put it into words, honestly. Again, guys, in the comment section, to anybody watching this, again, I know you're going to defend Goku. I love Goku too. Alex loves Goku too.
But he's getting really cocky, bro.
But no, it's not cocky. He's getting annoying. Like, someone needs to, you know what it is on top of that, he has this understanding, like, you know what, Beerus needs me. These people need me, so they're not going to destroy me now. However, it's hilarious that the Dai Shinkan put him in his place, and after that, put him in the spotlight by saying, oh, by the way, guys, it is here Goku of Universe 7 whose idea it was for this tournament of power. So you could thank him, and after they revealed to them that they're all going to die, you could thank him for that, because again,
you could thank him for taking away your godly tier, yeah.
Oh, but by the way, it looks like the gods are not going to go with their universe, apparently.
I don't know, Beerus kept emphasizing that if the universes are gone, that means that he'll erase Goku as well. Because remember what he said? He said, you may think Zenchan is your friend, you may think that, Zeno is your friend, but if you lose, he will erase the universe and you.
Well, I remember that. But it was the Supreme Kai who told Goku, remember, before they went to Zeno's place?
Yeah.
And he said, listen, Goku, if the Universe 7 should be erased, I myself cannot face the gods. I'll be far too embarrassed. So I'm not sure if the Kaioshins will live and the gods will die, which I don't think is fair.
Comment down below if you guys believe that the gods are going to be destroyed or even kept alive, for that matter, because again, you just brought up an interesting point.
Yeah, because a part of me felt like it was, like they would, because again, I was theorizing with some other people, like I guess you can quote unquote call them Dragon Ball theorists or whatever, and well, they invited me to theorize with them. I guess they liked the things I had to say. Again, not blowing my own horny, but again, onto the point. What I thought was that if you don't have a specific universe to govern or to watch over, then Zeno has no use for you. Therefore, you would just, in his eyes, be justifiable. It would be justifiable for him to erase you. That's just how I saw it. Again, I don't have any confirmation of that. It's just basic common knowledge. I just thought that if you don't have a universe to govern, you don't have a responsibility, and then he has no use for you, so he might as well erase you. Then eventually, if other universes decide to be created or born, then he would just appoint a new god of destruction. Again, take that with a grain of salt. But again, like Alex said, leave your thoughts down below, and maybe we could do a video on that someday. I don't know.
That's very intriguing to me, because that goes back to when Zenchan destroyed the other 4 universes. I mean, whatever happened to those
6,
gods?
Right, exactly. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but this episode, and again, I do want to touch up on the animation as well. I feel like all of the weeks that we've gotten all this filler bullshit, all of the complaints of the animation, I felt like on the low they were really working on this, and you guys have to give them props for working on this, because
it shows.
They actually, I have to commend them on that. But also, I feel as if this upcoming episode is going to showcase more or less Goku's arrogance again, because having to see how he went about things. But you also have to give, and I want everybody in the comments to give props to Champa, because when Beerus found out he was collecting them again, he was like, oh, that son of a bitch was collecting them again.
But the way he said it, he was like, and it is I, Champa, who gave them 3.
Champa's collecting them again.
But his voice, the way he said it was like, hey, I did it, it was me,
I gave him the first.
That son of a bitch. That son of a bitch. Oh, but by the way, I think Vados has competition, man.
There were a few females there. there. There were a few angels there. However,
No,
I also
I'm
want
not
to
talking
touch up
about
on
her.
the idea that once the Grand Priest was talking to everyone about the gods and whatever, and we saw like little individual, pictures of each and every single one. The one picture that I did not see, or like the one set of gods that did not appear after that, were the clown. He wasn't shown again. He was just shown for that brief moment that everyone else was being shown, but him and alongside a few others weren't shown. So I found that to be very interesting. It may not be nothing, and it's also very intriguing how even the Supreme Kai and Kibito said, why are they picking Universe 9?
Universe 9. Yep. Exactly. I thought the same thing too. But going back to my whole Vados thing, I wasn't talking about the angels. Did you peep they really made this they paid a lot of attention. They did, a lot of attention to detail when they made that whole Cleopatra god.
Oh yeah, of course.
They hooked her up, bro.
The only goddess of all of them, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, like, well, okay. Vados, you have some
But either way, I feel like I'm really hoping, and I'm really hoping for this, that each individual fight, or at least each team battle, is marinated. I cannot stand having everything be rushed. So yeah, I get it. We just started Buu versus Basil, so I'm not trying to say drag it on for 10 episodes, but I'm trying to say if you're going to begin something else next week, at least give us something to where Basil and Majin Buu really duke it out, and then finally you get into the next fight. What do you think about that?
You know what? I agree, but I think it's 100%. It's 100%. There's gonna be a backstory to all of this. There's gonna be something dark going on behind all of this. We don't know exactly what it is yet. They made a big emphasis on the Dai Shinkan. Then all of a sudden, when we watched 77, it switched over to the Omni Kings, and now it just looks like the emphasis that the Dai Shinkan has right now. It just looks like he's enforcing everything. Like, listen, if Zeno-sama wants it, it's gonna happen. So silence. You know what I'm saying? But I also feel like all of this pressure. Because the minute Beerus said, yo, you will take responsibility for this, Goku was trying to back out of it, like, oh, what? Responsibility?
Yeah, he was like, should I just tell him not to do it? And he was like, too late.
Too late. It's too late for you to understand the danger. That's what Beerus said. And on top of that, so again, I imagine that if Goku continues to be this dickhead that he's being, again, and guys, forgive me for bashing him, we have to bash him. At this point, we have to bash him. I think I could see potentially down the line that his ability to fight could be hindered if a lot of pressure is being put on him, where all the gods are specifically targeting him, talking about him, looking at him.
Well,
and
don't
that
you think that kind of motivates him? Because wasn't he always built on that? Like people just, raising the bar?
Yeah, you're right. But again, it could potentially influence the relationship he has with Beerus. I think Beerus at this point is just fed up with Goku.
Well, I mean,
if
Goku wins, then Beerus doesn't have a reason to be mad anymore.
True,
does he?
but then again, you got to think about it. Like, yo, I just can't afford for something like this to happen again. Should I destroy you now, or should we? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. But
again,
do you think he's hiding something?
Who, Beerus?
No, Goku. He seems to be very confident going in this with no concern, and the way he spoke about it, he was
like that.
He was like, I'm gonna win despite anyone that's put in front of me. Did you forget? Did you forget about the assassin that killed you? I mean, if those rules still count, and if you're allowed to kill or at least harm your opponent, vitally.
Right.
If Hit manages to hit that dude once in the heart like that, it's over, man.
Yeah, you're right. But again, I think talking about Hit is gonna be. Maybe for another day. We're gonna have to see how this story develops, because this isn't the actual official round one of the tournament. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. This is the Zen exhibition match.
He's like, oh, I want to watch. Like, what is this?
Right. So the Zen exhibition match. Right. So I think Hit might we might have to save that for another day. Granted, because I know how much you love Hit, and in this tournament, I love Hit too. I don't want to see him again. Like we talked about in our last video. I don't want to see Hit just be look like a fool. I don't want him to be embarrassed. I want him to at least show us a thing or two, and then if he loses, which he most likely will, then it is what it is. But again, man, if Goku, I'm just not sure how much more I can take of Goku acting like this, bro, because he's getting worse. It's getting like, listen, all the gods are watching, and they're all like, yo, who's this moron calling Zeno-sama Zen-chan and all this other stuff, and he's leaning over his chair. Yeah, and it's just like, yo, like, I don't know, man. I just don't know how. I don't want to talk about Goku too much, again, because people are going to bash me for it. I know that. But, man, I think I just want to see the story. I want to see how it unfolds. I want to see how dark it can get. Because I do sense, I do feel like it's going to get dark, man. I can see some dark shit happening. Granted, that we have a confirmation as to where these matches are being held, the World of Void. which I feel like it's like a purgatory, if anything. You know what I'm saying?
It's like it's there's no space or time. It just goes
yeah,
on.
Man. But you know, I mean, if anything, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just excited.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I want to go back to Buu about. I think that in order to make Buu fight serious, you're gonna have to kind of jeopardize Hercule's life. And I don't think that he fully realizes that. I don't think that he fully realizes, like, yo, my best friend's life is at risk here. Because I think that if Buu were to find out, like, you know, nobody hurt Hercule, like, you know, like, that's his best friend. I think that if he were to find out, like, all right, if you lose, Hercule dies type shit, I think that if that were to happen, he would take the fight very serious. And 100%. I think that even then, Buu would be unstoppable because all he really has is Hercule.
100%. 100% agree with that.
But I don't know. So you're saying that he might lose or win? What do you...
man.
Because
you know what it is?
For some reason, I don't know what it is. I could be wrong, and that's why we're making a prediction video
to
speculate. But I think that he might lose. Not based on his feats, but based on his naiveness and his stupidity.
Yeah, his brain, his lack of a brain. But again, here's the thing.
Basil's not dumb. I don't think he's dumb at all, man.
Here's the thing. Again, this is just from a perspective. It's all perspective. So I feel like if you look at it, let's try to look at it together like this, okay? So we have Gohan. Who has more potential to develop as a character, Gohan or Majin Buu?
Oh, Gohan, obviously.
Okay, and that's why I feel like it's if he loses now, it gives him room to improve and redeem himself throughout the tournament. Is he going to win every single match? Hell no. But that's why I feel like if they just give Majin Buu this win, then... Because, again, they're introducing both Gohan and Majin Buu, two characters who have been completely irrelevant in Dragon Ball Super. You can't just give them both a win. You can't give them both a loss. You have to give it to one. So you're saying Majin Buu will lose, Gohan will win. But I also feel like if Gohan wins... that will make people happy, but I also feel, again, and you touched up on a good point. Thinking about Videl, thinking about Pan, you're absolutely right. You're 1,000% right on that. So yes, that alone would lead me to make me believe that Gohan will win this match. But we don't know anything about Lavenda yet, and I feel like they purposely didn't reveal information about him on purpose. So again, Gohan has always been the type, as of lately in Super, to be overtaken by his opponents. He's just so rusty, man. It's not that he's weak. You know, he's still strong. He's not weak, but his lack of fighting or touching up on that or remembering what it was to be a warrior, but at the same time also be someone who can be educated, that's what's his biggest downfall. Or so yes, he has willpower. Nobody's denying that. But I think at the same time that these wolves, again, it looks like they all might potentially fight dirty. I would say they are wolves. You know, they are wolves.
Yeah, I can see them fighting dirty too. Actually, Lavenda reminds me of the coyote that always chased after the Roadrunner. I can see some TNT and shit going down after that.
Yeah, so one can say that
playing
maybe
dirty,
that's his specialty.
He could play dirty. I mean, it wasn't said specifically. Oh, you can't play dirty.
Right, but like I said, man, I just think from a character development perspective, again, I don't want to see Gohan lose. I don't want to see him look like a bitch, but at the same time, he just can't get any lower at this point. So if he were to lose, then they show us where he's training. Again, in the intro, he's with Piccolo and he's meditating. That helps, and it tells us, okay, the next match, Gohan's in, he's coming correct, because if not, we're going to grab our pitchforks. You know what I mean?
We're going to riot on that one. But post your comments down below, guys. What are your overall thoughts on Basil versus Majin Buu? What are your overall thoughts on the development between Goku and everyone else, trying to think that he's, you know, friends with everybody, buddies, but until he was put in place? What are your overall thoughts on Gohan, as me and Emosh just talked about? Post your comments down below. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the discussion, make sure to go ahead and slap a like on the video. Subscribe for more daily content, guys. Also, go ahead and check out and subscribe to Emosh's channel. I will link that down below. Tune in for more, and we'll be seeing you all in the next video. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.